Now, with so much new information coming out about YNW Melly's case, YNW Melly has now dropped hints towards him returning home very soon. We need to talk about this, so let's get straight into it. Now, YNW Melly's court case has definitely been one of the most interesting in the entire rap world. On February 13th, YNW Melly and YNW Bortlen, they brought themselves into jail as law enforcement believed that they are responsible for the passing of their two best friends, YNW Juvy and YNW Sakchaser. Both of the rappers have been trying to get released on bail or even just house arrest until the official trial starts, but both of them did fail. But this was until a few months ago when at a normal court hearing, YNW Bortlen was just granted bail literally out of nowhere until the trial starts. Now meanwhile, YNW Melly was denied bail and he was actually told to sit in his jail cell and wait until the trial started. Now, this could be because of law enforcement finding a video on YNW Melly's own cell phone of him pretty much admitting to doing the act towards Juvy and Sakchaser. In case you didn't know, law enforcement stated in court this piece of information, and I quote, "Then also, we have a video of Mr. Demons admitting to doing an act towards two individuals in the head," which to the regular eye, who is not really invested in this court case, obviously, that would be groundbreaking evidence as it's a literal confession. Now thankfully, according to people in YNW Melly's team, allegedly Melly and his lawyers are now trying to make that piece of evidence unusable in court, as YNW Melly's intentions with that cell phone video was actually supposed to be posted to his social medias as promotion towards his song "M on My Mind." Now in court, by law, rap lyrics as well as any sort of rap promotion that's used in the music industry cannot be used against a rapper in court, as it is used for entertainment purposes. Now from being really invested in this court case, I can pretty much assure you that this evidence is practically the backbone of the law enforcement's case against YNW Melly. Now this means, to sum it all up, if Melly's lawyers can actually make this piece of evidence unusable, then the odds of YNW Melly beating this case and being let free is actually very high. Now to understand more of this, you first need to know exactly what happened on the night that Juvy and Sakchaser sadly passed. So it basically started on October 26th in 2018. Law enforcement believe that at 3:30 a.m., YNW Melly, Juvy, Sakchaser, and Bortlen, they were all at a recording studio getting work done for Melly's new album, and this was until their time period was over. Surveillance footage actually show YNW Melly and the three YNW boys hopping into their Jeep and heading home. Now the driver of the vehicle on that night was Cortland Henry, otherwise known as YNW Bortlen, and YNW Melly was sitting directly behind him. It has been said that Bortlen ended up taking a back road home, and that was to skip the early morning traffic. And while taking a back road home, there is no street lights and there's no street cameras, so this entire incident was not caught on film. Now law enforcement, they still don't know what happened inside of the car. The theory is Bortlen took a back road home knowing there's no street lights or street cameras, and while Bortlen was driving, there was a distraction made to catch Juvy and Sakchaser off guard, and that is when YNW Melly ended up doing the act towards them in the vehicle. Law enforcement believe it was YNW Melly who did the act, as Melly sent a suspicious message to his girlfriend at the time 2 weeks later on Snapchat saying, and I quote, "I keep Bortlen with me because at the end of the day, he did one of the realest stuff in my life." Now, law enforcement believe that this could be YNW Melly's way of thanking Bortlen for remaining loyal and not snitching, and they also believe that Melly's girlfriend asked Why did you keep YNW Bortlen but do the act towards the other two? But after the act was committed in the vehicle, it has been said that YNW Bortlen then drove the vehicle into a very hidden side parking lot where nobody was in sight and nobody could hear firearms being used. And that's when YNW Melly and YNW Bortlen then roughed up the vehicle with firearms and all kinds of stuff to basically make it appear as if a drive-by actually happened, which would then be Melly and Bortlen's excuse for this entire incident happening when they bring Sakchaser and Juvy to the hospital for medical attention as they were still in the vehicle. And I do have to admit, the kind of most concerning thing of this all is that YNW Melly and YNW Bortlen took 40 minutes to get Juvy and Sakchaser medical attention. Now, that's pretty crazy when you would think, why wouldn't they just call an ambulance? And when you think about it, they took 40 minutes to get their two best friends medical attention. What were they actually doing with that 40 minutes? But again, that's just what law enforcement allegedly believes happened. For all we know, YNW Melly could be telling the truth that a vehicle pulled his car over on a back road and lit up his vehicle, and then that's how sadly YNW Juvy and YNW Sakchaser passed. But again, you gotta remember there is no street cameras on a back road, especially anywhere in the United States. So if there is no video footage, and this video on YNW Melly's cell phone could end up being unusable as false evidence against YNW Melly, as the video was used for an entertainment purpose for his music career, YNW Melly will be getting sent home as there is no significant evidence proving that YNW Melly even did this in the first place. Now obviously, it wouldn't just be as easy as that. There would be a lot of other legal issues going on. There's a very high chance that YNW Melly's girlfriend at the time will be getting investigated to see what the Snapchat conversation was about. I could definitely see that happening, as well as YNW Melly having his phone even more further investigated than it already was, as well as YNW Bortlen's social medias and cell phone will be getting searched as well, I could believe. And the saddest thing of all, YNW Juvy and Sakchaser's own parents, they strongly believe that it actually was YNW Melly who did the act towards their two sons. It is a very confusing mess that this is in right now, but if you subscribe to the channel, I'll make sure to keep you up to date with everything going on. Anyways, it's been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.